What's going on, everybody? It's me, Will, and I know it's been a while since I've been on here, so there's quite a bit of stuff to talk about. And as much as I have tried to avoid politics, it's everywhere. Social media is politics now, and I mean, it's like there's just no getting away from it. It used to just be a cool way to stay in touch with friends and stuff like that, but um, it's not now. It's all politics. So anyway, straight to it. Trump put these tariffs on, and they crashed the markets, which pretty much every economist I was looking at said that that's what was going to happen. Um, so they crashed the markets, and I've kind of been in these groups talking to Trump supporters, and they were telling me, "Oh, the market's not a solid indicator of what's going on." And I'm sitting there thinking, "Well, yes, it is." But anyway, they've got other shit, whatever mental gymnastics they're doing. So the market doesn't matter. Then when he lifts the tariffs, the stock market had this crazy surge, and then he's responsible for like the biggest day in stock market history, and then they matter, and they're all posting it. You know, so it's just fucking ridiculous. And right before the tariffs got lifted, a bunch of people placed call bets in the stock market, which basically means a bunch of people bet that the stock market was going to go up right before it went up. So there were people on the inside that knew before it happened that it was going to happen. And for those call bets to hit, like, if for you to call like exactly when it happened, it's like exponential money. So people got so rich from this shit. It's crazy. It's like market manipulation, insider trading, everything that you shouldn't do is pretty much what they did. Anyway, okay, now we're at like 150% tariffs on China, but cell phones and computers and stuff like that doesn't count. So basically, the tariffs don't affect the upper class or the middle class. They just affect all the little cheap shit that the lower class buys. So again, it's really only hurting the people without money, but we don't care about them in America. Um, then there's this El Salvadoran prison, Secot, and they're rounding up supposedly gang members from Tren de Aragua and the Mara Salvatrucha 13, MS-13, and sending them down there. And these MS-13 people, like, they chop people up with machetes and shit. Like, they're evil. So yeah, they deserve to be shipped away and put away for the rest of their lives. Absolutely. Not denying that. Terrorists deserve that. Okay, these Tren de Aragua people that took over, I guess, a whole apartment complex in Colorado. Yes, they deserve that. But the thing is they're rounding people up and they're shipping them out without making sure that they are who they think they are. They're just basing it off of, oh, he's got this tattoo, so we think he's a terrorist or we think he's a gang member, so let's just ship him out. Um, that's not okay. There's no due process. You're just rounding people up, putting them on a plane, and sending them into a third world prison that's known to like have human rights violations and shit. It's bonkers. But the worst part of the whole thing is, if you've been paying attention, you know they accidentally deported a guy that the court had said was supposed to stay in America. This guy, I think it's Kilmar Abrego Garcia, I believe his name is. So they accidentally deported this guy, right? Um, then they admitted that they accidentally deported him. Then the Supreme Court said that they had to facilitate his return. 9-0, the Supreme Court ruled. That like never happens. Then today, the El Salvadoran president comes to the White House, and him and Trump both say, "Oh, he's not coming back." So they disappeared a guy that wasn't a criminal. Now they're calling him a criminal and a gangster and a terrorist and all this shit. But they disappeared a guy that was innocent, that wasn't supposed to be deported, that had like a wife in America and I think 3 kids, family, and they disappeared this guy, and he's just not coming back now. And now they're talking about sending Americans down there, only the worst. But the thing is at this point, who's deciding who is the worst, right? I mean, yeah, again, dangerous terrorists, like rapists, child molesters, they deserve this, right? But, you know, who's a terrorist these days? I mean, they're saying that people throwing fire at Tesla dealerships are terrorists. And granted, what they're doing is wrong, and they get caught. They should get in trouble. But should we ship them to a black hole for the rest of their lives, where they might get murdered by prison guards or something? I mean, I don't think so. The time should match the crime. You know, so it's just scary now that they're talking about sending Americans down there, and they've already sent people down there without due process. So we're only one step away from them rounding up American citizens and sending them out without due process and saying, oh, they were terrorists. It was treason. Trump just recently said that some guy that wrote a book he didn't like was guilty of treason. I mean, so it's like, if we're freely just putting these stamps on people, you know, are they the judge, jury, and executioner? Like, if they say treason or terrorism, are these people just gonna get disappeared like American citizens? Are they just gonna be gone? And again, a lot of the Trump supporters don't care. They're just like, oh, it was only one guy. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? That guy has a family. That guy has people that care about him. He wasn't given a chance to go to court. None of this happened, and it's not right. And that bothers me. All right, I'm a straight white man. No one should be coming for me, right? Like, I should be good. But I'm not happy with what's happening to other people. I have empathy. I care. I don't want to see people that are innocent shipped away to a third world prison. I don't want that to happen. Even if I disagree with you or your politics, I want you to have your rights, okay? That matters to me because that's what makes us American. That's what makes us the greatest country in the world, or what was making us that. But it's just crazy how many Trump supporters don't have empathy and don't care. Back the Nuremberg trials, this psychiatrist that talked to a lot of the people, the Nazis, said that the one thing that they had in common, the one thing that he truly defined as evil, was the lack of empathy. And if we don't have that, then what do we have? Like, that makes us human. If you don't have empathy, you're like a psychopath. There's like mental illnesses. If you don't have empathy, that's not normal. And it's just sad that this kind of evil is becoming normal. And another thing, I was talking about the internet. A lot of people don't know that the internet is built with algorithms. Basically, there are these giant computer programs, and they get into your phone and they track where you're going. They track what you do. They track, what you buy. They know when you sleep, when you're awake. They know everything about you, right? These algorithms, they track you, and since they know you, they know what you like. They know what you don't like, and they put the things that you want to see on your timeline so that you'll stay on and keep viewing ads and keep making them money, right? That's how this works. So basically, they're putting the things in front of you that you want to see, which they've figured out what makes you stay is what makes you angry. And now it's like I'm seeing all these things that make me want to argue with people. Like, all of a sudden, since Zuckerberg had this meeting with Trump, like, it's changed. And there are all these things coming up that make me even more angry. And I'm just like, dude, I'm being manipulated. We're being manipulated. Like, I know I'm being manipulated, and it makes me angry. Like, how many people don't know, what's going on and are getting sucked into this hole? Like, what is going on? Like, we're affecting people's 401ks. We're affecting people's lives by sending people to prison. And, you know, social media is manipulating us, and this isn't getting any better. With AI, it's only going to get worse. I need to start posting more often. I hope that you've gotten this far and that I'm making some sense to you. If anyone wants to talk about this, drop a comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope that by the next time I post, things will get better. All right, y'all have a good day.